I'm going to go ahead and start because it's getting very close to 3. What we're going to talk about today is your guides and how are your guides, how to work with them, how to converse with guides from the spirit world. I'm a firm believer in guides and people helping you and your higher self and all that matters with that whole vibration. I want to first talk about your gatekeeper. Gatekeepers can be like your guardian angel, your connection. The first person that walked with you here on this earth plane when you arrived here was your gatekeeper. That is your major guide. And I have to say, because my guide is Jeff, and he is my gatekeeper. Jeff is my gatekeeper. He is my connection to higher sources. So the question with Jeff, whatever your guide's name is, whatever your gatekeeper, your connection to your major guides within your vibration, when you're with your vibration, you have to ask yourself, what is my guide's name? What do my guides do? What are my guides doing with me? You should ask your guides. You should ask your major guide, your connection to the spirit world. I'd like to meet you. I would like to talk to you, whether you're through a meditative state, whether you're through a dream state, whatever state that you feel comfortable in asking your guides. What is your guide? You would like to know what your guide's name is. Before we got to this earth plane, we all knew exactly all our guides' names. We knew exactly who they were. We knew exactly where they were. We knew exactly where they were standing. And when we came down here, all of a sudden, we forgot. We forgot the names. We forgot the guides, but they're still there. So gatekeeper is the one that allows everyone into your vibration, allows everyone to connect to you. That allows them, so they have to get past the gatekeeper. They have to get past, to speak to me from the spirit world, to connect to me from the spirit world, you've got to get past Jeff first. Jeff. He is my, not my communicator. We will get into communicators. We'll get into that. We'll get into communicators. But Jeff is not my communicator with spirit. He is the gate. He allows people to enter the gate. He allows people to move into the gate. Then we get to the position of we get to the physician, which is your doctor, which is when it takes care of your health, it takes care of your well-being. It works with situations of your vibration. People always kind of ask me, Louis, why, if I have such a physician in my vibration, I have a guide that works strictly with my health, then why do I get sick? Why do I get ill? Why do these things happen to me? Well, a lot of times I would have to say with that is we follow ourselves through group situations and things in our lives that we have to either make a life lesson for us or a life lesson for others. It takes us through situations in our life and we pick our family tree. So a lot of situations that happen in our lives because of health have to deal with family tree. Our grandmother died of such an illness, and all of a sudden it has been passed on to us, passed on to our vibration. So then we have to deal with it, and we have to deal with it because it's part of our family tree. Or then we put ourselves in very stressful situations. Our guides are pulling their hair out, and we're off doing this stuff in some very stressful situation, which is causing a dis-ease within our being. So they can't stop us from doing it. They can only kind of just roll their eyes and try to hold us back from doing it. But a lot of the times with illnesses, there's things we chose. Some things we chose in our lives to put ourselves through. That's why I always tell people, when you're asking your guide, your physician, perfect health or the reason why not. So that way, if there's something you're doing, something you need to do, something you need to place in motion, something you personally need to accomplish, your guides will be very repetitious with you. You don't really have to know their names. I kind of like, over the years, I've known who my guides are, but you don't have to know them, just be able to talk to them. speak to them in the vibration of spirit. Then the other major guide with the vibration is that alchemist. He is the one, he or she is the one that actually communicates with bringing stuff into your vibration. The alchemist creates things in your life, creates relationships, creates money, creates situations in your life. The alchemist creates, just sits in your vibration and creates. That's what the alchemist does. So you have the gatekeeper, the physician, and you have the alchemist. Those three guides are your major guides. They are the ones that stay with you throughout your lifetime. They don't change, so you don't get done with them. You handpick those guides because they were your chief working people in your company. They were the ones that are on the top floor with you. They're it. So those guides are there to help. So the alchemist creates prosperity. If you need money in your life, you're probably going to talk to the alchemist. If you need a nice relationship in your life, talk to the alchemist. If you're going to do this, you're going to do that. You're going to talk to the alchemist in your life. And then if you get into mediumship, working with mediumship, speaking to guides, then you'll get your message bearer, or the one that will bring through messages. I've explained to people, people get taught that message bearers could be family members, people that are message bearers. Family members are helpers. If they were on this earth plane with you, if a family member was here, now your great-great-grandmother died many years before you were born, your grandmother could possibly be your guide because she had already been on the other side. She'd already been over there. But if your gatekeeper is not, but if the person was on this earth plane with you, they're not your guide. Because you lived this lifetime. There was life lessons, encouragements, and situations with them because you knew them on this earth plane. They become helpers, people to walk through, people to kind of wave, love you, and bring things in your vibration, but they're not guides. They're not your guides that you handpicked. I've always known that from the spirit side of life, as when I was standing on the other side, all my guides were in a building. All of the guides are in a building, and we walk through the building. We pick up people that we've known in past lifetimes, incarnations, things throughout lifetimes. Those people gather. We go into the room and we look at what on a table, exactly the life lessons and challenges that we have in this lifetime, what we're going to have to deal with. And then we take the resumes from these guides that show up. And we try to pick the best resume for the guide to help us through these situations that we're going to be going through in this lifetime. We don't pick people in this lifetime to be our guides that have no idea what we're going through. They know. We handpick them to help, to encourage us and get us to where we need to be. Handpicked. So when we think about our guides, think about a room on the other side where they put the blueprint of your life out in front of you. And when you got a good understanding of what you had to go through, whether it's illness, whether it's bad relationships, situations, all this vibration within your life, you looked at that. Then through the resumes or the people that were there, you said, I need you, I need you, and I need you, and I need you. And you handpick these guides. Once you close your eyes, I feel like life is like, when we come back from the other side of life, it's like that. It's like the slide on a great big cruise ship. Once you get in the slide, it just takes you right down into the water. But as you leave this spirit world and you get into that tube to get down to this earth plane, you forget. You don't have any inclination of what your life lessons are, what things that you chose to go through. Then we complain to guides now that we're going through this and they should have known. Well, guides knew that we're going to go through it, but how we go through it is our free will and choice. So we have to figure out, sure, it's happening. It's in our lives. It's here. It's here. So how are we going to fix it? How are we going to maneuver through it without too much bloodshed? How much? How are we going to manage through this situation? That's what we have to ask ourselves. How are you going to manage through the vibration? That's how your guides help you, managing yourself through, and you personally being in touch with your higher self. Your higher self, you're never out of touch with the spirit world. Your higher self is always connected There's always a line from your being to the spirit world, and you are always connected in the spirit world. I've known that because if we have past, logical, if you've had past lives and you've incarnated through past lives and incarnations, and people are here on the earth plane from that lifetime, you could be my great-great-grandmother. You're on this earth plane. You don't know your great-great-grandmother, but somebody talks to you from a mediumship reading or connects to you, then your higher self will speak to me. Sure, you're here. You're living another lifetime. You're moving, but your higher self will then speak to me from those experiences from that lifetime. So we're always connected. We always have that connection. We're always in that vibration, and we all come from the same pool here. So if you're on this earth plane, there's a very good possibility that everyone that's been within your life has been in your lifetime at some time before. We keep filtering in the same pool, helping that group of spirits to move closer and closer to infinite. We are part of the group. We don't get strange people in our group. We just get people just to change. I could be your mother in another lifetime. And in this lifetime, I'm a teacher. I could have been your father. I could have been your brother. I could have been somebody else. But in this lifetime, I'm where I'm at. Because I've just changed roles. I think all we do, we get back to the spirit world, we run back in wardrobe, we throw on some other clothes, and we head back out on stage. That's what we do. We do that vibration, that change of vibration. But as of here, as above, so below, we affect our group of consciousness. I got that a lot with Lucerne and the group he travels with. His 47 spirits that work with Lucerne, and it's his group. Other people do not enter the group. He deals strictly with that group of spirits. We deal with a group of spirits that are within our vibration continually throughout our lifetimes. Sure, the guides will change. There'll be another person in the group. Different things will happen because you have. I love teaching logical. If you go to the store, if you go to the hardware store, you try to figure out there's a meat case in the hardware store, you're not going to get one. You got to go somewhere where there is all this is. So when you enter this earth plane, you have that list of stuff. You have a whole list of what you're going to do. Whether you're really bad with yourself and you've asked for all kinds of stuff to happen in your life, that's your list. Now you're going to pick the best guides, the best salespeople, the best guides, the best people to come down with you. And then we get mad at them because the stuff's happening. It's because we chose it to happen. Our free will and choice is never the destination. It's never the destination. It's never that vibration. Sure, you're going to go through this stuff. It's never the destination. Free will and choice is how you maneuver through that destination. How do you get there? How do you move in that direction? You're still going to get there kicking and screaming, hollering, doing whatever you want to do. Still going to move in that direction. So if we have to realize in our life, so I can teach people to realize in your life, sure, stuff has happened. How are we going to move past this? How are we going to get ourselves to that destination without losing too much skin, without being bruised up too much? How are we going to see past this? How are we going to get ourselves to that? Sure, we have illnesses, different things, different vibrations happen in our lives. Some of us just meet crazy people. I told people in a lecture the other day, some people bring luggage, this old duffel bags that have been stored away somewhere, and people just want to dump them off in our vibration. Very rarely we get people with Louis Vuitton luggage that drop that off for us. Most of the time, it's just junk. And then we decide that, we should take care of this. Sometimes we just have to wish it well, but it's in somebody else's yard. Sometimes when we give something energy and it doesn't work, it means it's not supposed to work. You can beat it to death for years and years and years and be discouraged, or just let it go and move on to something else. When I talk about family, people in your life, sometimes kids, family, were born in families, not of them. So if there's something not going right with your family tree, God bless them. Go plant yourself another tree. Go plant yourself another tree. I didn't have a really good time with some of my parents, my parents that I had. That's great. I went over to the nursing home. I had some beautiful people really took good care of me. They loved me. They loved me talking to them. Your kids don't want to talk to you? Go somewhere where there are kids. Go somewhere. Talk to the new kids. They'll love you. I go read books for children. I go read books for children at these schools and things. I got kids. Me and my wife don't have any kids, but we have kids. We got a lot of children. Because even though that road didn't come in our life, doesn't mean we can't maneuver through that part of town. So don't discourage yourself in that vibration. Your guides are here to help you. So that gatekeeper, physician, alchemist. Now with the physician, you have runners. You have runners that run. You have a physician, you have runners. They run. So you ask the physician for something, it's like having that little RX van running from the drugstore, running around town, picking up the stuff you need to throw in the back of the van and bring it back to you. There's this whole vibration of movement behind you. Sure, there are players on the stage, but behind the curtain are a lot of other people putting on the show. You have guides at the top level. Then you have people moving through the whole building. Sure, these guides, the gatekeeper, your physician, your alchemist, and you are up in the boardroom. As we move down through the building, you have other guides, different situations appearing in your life as you need them. Their call goes out, says, we need somebody up here to do messages. Oh, we need somebody up here to do this. This is what we need. And people will ride the elevator up to the top floor. You don't have all your guides at one time. I always laugh when I tell people, if all your guides were in your vibration, they're having a board meeting and you were not invited. Means you weren't invited to the meeting. All of them were there. And you've done something crazy in your life. Now they're having to have a board meeting to try to help you. Guides don't save you. They warn you. They try to stop you. They don't jump off the edge of the cliff because you decide to jump off. They sit there and wait for you to climb out. They don't jump. I've known that in my life. I mean, I can make some crazy decisions, but they don't come up and say, haha, we jump with you. No, they don't. The only time they will move things miraculous for you if you do something completely stupid and you weren't supposed to, and it will cause you to end your life, then they will come and help you. If something you do completely stupid, they will come in and save you. So many people have been in accidents, different things happen. They go, oh my God, an angel saved me. Somebody saved me from dying. Because you weren't supposed to die at that time. Weren't supposed to cross to the spirit world. I had an individual many years ago that tried to commit suicide twice. And well, both times he shot himself. But he didn't kill himself. And he ended up in a nursing home. And he kept looking at me, he says, why can't I die? I said, because you're not supposed to. Give that up. You've tried twice. It's not working. Give it up. It's not going to work for you. Your guides will stop you. They will stop you. They will. The vibration. As those runners run through the building, because I have a mediumship guide who gives me messages from the spirit world. Mediumship guides will change as you work with mediumship. You might not like one of my mediumship guides, or they might not like you. That mediumship guide is not going to work with you if that guide doesn't like you. So somebody else will step forward and be the mediumship guide for you. I give all kinds of message services in this world, but not every message service has the exact same guide talking with me, working with me. Because you might have different energy, different vibrations than that guide does. Guide will find a guide, somebody in the spirit world, to speak and work with you because they know where you're at. So not every guide, all my message bearers, so-and-so, that's always she'll be. No. Sometimes people know, because if that spirit was on this earth plane and they're your message bearer, then that message bearer changes, because that message bearer, as I know, doing readings, I cannot read everyone. I can't. But guides can. And guides will be able to come through send guides through. I learned that many years ago. I had a lady come to my office and she didn't like me. She wanted her daughter to have a woman read her. Didn't want no man talking to her. So that grandmother would not speak to me. Would not. She would not. So eventually, my grandmother stood up and spoke with her and spoke with me to bring that grandmother through. But the lady just wanted to talk to her grandmother, but that grandmother was not going to speak to me because I was not a woman. I was not going to do that. So my grandmother had to show up. And remember, if you have a grandmother, husband, people in spirit, and they show up in a reading, it's a very good possibility that person, your Uncle Al, that they have an Uncle Al. Your Uncle Al looks like them. Looks like their family tree. It has some kind of connection. If your family member shows up in your vibration and you're thinking, why is my dad here? Why is he here? Why did he show up? Because your dad has some kind of connection to that family vibration. Either looks like them, died like they did, had the same name. There's some kind of connection to that person you're trying to bring through. Even though that person doesn't want to show themselves to you, a family member will show up and let you see what they actually look like. It works. I've learned that over the years I've done this. So if I see a family member, I assume that that family member either looks like them, it's got the same name, died like they did, something happened that caused their passing, and my family member showed up to show me. But guides are very particular what they do. They'll come in because each group, each person, each vibration is different. Not every guide. Jeff is not my message bearer. He is my gatekeeper. He doesn't come over and give me messages. My message bearer changes day to day. Day to day is whoever shows up in my office. So don't get guide fixated when you're giving messages. Don't get all fixated with a situation and say, oh my God, I've got to have so-and-so, but I can't do nothing without them. No, because as you grow, see, you entered this earth plane in kindergarten. Your guides came down with you and they're trying to teach you. And as you get older, as you get moving further down the path, get more intuitive, more empathic, whatever you're doing in your life, some of the guides that you had in your life, the guides that follow you, not the gatekeeper or the other ones, but they will change. Different people will change, not because they're forced to change. It's because you've gotten to a level that they can't take you. It's like you being in the 7th grade and taking your kindergarten teacher with you. Can't take her to 7th grade. She can't teach you what you need to know at that level. So she has to leave, and another guide has to show up to take you from that level to the next level until another guide shows up to take you further down the path. Guides don't expect you to go to that high vibration and, oh God, we're just gonna go. You're going to propel to a level in this lifetime that's going to affect the universal energy. That's what you're going to do. A level in this lifetime to affect the universal energy. That's what you're going to do. And as you affect the universal energy, that's where you are. You might beat yourself and say, oh, I should do so much better. No, you're there. That's what you chose to do. That's where you chose to be at this time in your life. You might want to fight it, but that is it. That's where you're supposed to be. My grandmother used to say, just bloom where you're planted. Bloom right there. Bloom where you're planted. Because you can try to bloom somewhere else, but you're there. Bloom there. Do the best you can. It's like the four agreements. Do your best. Best for you. You might be ill, you might be out of work, you might not be doing this, you might not have that. But for this moment in your life, do your best for wherever you are in this vibration within your life. That's all your guides are asking you to do. Do your best. Do whatever you personally feel like you need to do. We have a tendency of playing Mother Teresa, Florence Nightingale. We attract people with the luggage. Crazy people are knocking at the door. We know that we should lay down on the floor and play dead until they leave, but we don't. We decide we should get up, try to help these people. Then they drag us out into the public, and with this all craziness goes on until we finally get back home and lock the door again. Until we go, whew, that was awful. And when people look at me and say, Lewis, that was awful, then why are you doing it again? Why do you keep running out that front door again? If it's awful the first time, it's probably not going to be better the second time. Move on to something else. Have this moment with your guides. Have a discussion with them. Tell your guides you don't like it. I don't like that. Why is that happening? Explain that to me. Because you should have some kind of orchestration in this lifetime of where you're supposed to be. I tell my guides, if I signed a contract, my name's on it, I signed a contract, then I should see it. Show it to me. Subconsciously in my dream state, I travel on the other side so they can show me a contract. So if I sign something, I put something in motion, explain it to me. Explain to me why that is happening and why do I have to do in that situation. If you keep attracting people in your life that are exactly the same people within your vibration, then maybe you need to take a break for a while from attracting people so the energy in your auric field will change so you can attract different type of people. I have a lady that's been married 12 times, 12 times. Every single time she gets married, she marries an alcoholic. And I told her, I said, why don't you give it a break, dear? Give it a break. I teased her last time she was here. I said, why don't you give other women a chance? You married 12 of them, killed 12 of them off. Give them a chance. Give some other people a chance to marry somebody. But she doesn't give her energy field enough time to change. If you meet somebody that's very disruptive in your life, you don't give it 12 to 15 months for your auric field to change, then there's a very good possibility you'll meet the exact same person, just different face, different body, same person all around. And you're telling me, why did I attract that? You didn't give enough time to change it, to redo it, to reset the vibration. Every once in a while, we have to do a reset. We have to do a reboot of our life, just a reboot, figure out where we are. Sometimes we get lost. We lost a GPS. We just take a time to have that reboot in your life. That's what you need to do. Trust yourself, because I have the mediumship guide and I have the trance guide. Trance guides are different than mediumship guides. If I'm going to go into trance, I'm not going to trance my mediumship guide. I'm going to trance a guide that was assigned to me. Everybody has different guides, different trance guides, different vibrations in their life. It's where they focus within their life. I just happen to focus in trance. Trance guide woke up. If you're going to attract certain energies, sure, everybody attracts archangels. Everybody has archangels because they're very protective angels. Archangel Raphael, Gabriel, all these archangels in your vibration, they are sent to do protection. So they protect a lot of people. Archangel Michael is not in your closet at your house and your own personal angel, and nobody else knows Archangel Michael because he's yours. No, Archangel Michael travels all over to guide and protect others. That the angelic presence of prayer. And if your angels are not incarnated here. Angels have never been incarnated. I want people to hear that. Angels do not incarnate. So don't think that you're an angel and you're incarnated here. And for the moment, you're hiding your wings. We are not angels. We're not reborn from an angelic kingdom. Angels are from their own kingdom. The seraphims, the angelic presence, all that vibration, all the angels are within that kingdom, and they are helpers, they are guides, and they're protectors. They do not incarnate here. They don't. And I've known that from many teachings that I've learned from. But I know that we either get grounded, focused in our lives. Guides will guide us down the path. They will guide us. The gatekeeper is the one that opens the door and allows these other people, relatives, friends, people, situations from the spirit side of life to come in and help you. My guide doesn't like my mom. Not gonna let my mom in. Unless my mom really has something massive to tell me. Then you have the joy guide. The joy guide is usually a child, usually a male or female child. It's usually your joy guide. Joy guide will follow you, help you, encourage you, bless you, want you to go have fun. So joy guide is a protector. Joy guide stays right up in your auric field. Your animal totem. I know people take classes in animal totems. Animal totems will change. Your animal totem will, oh, Lewis, I've got the lion. I've had that lion for 50 years. No. Your animal totem will change as you change. You might have the elephant today. Next week, you've got the wolf. You move through these situations of what animal you need at that moment. You don't keep the same animal. You move through the angelic and kingdom. You don't keep Archangel Michael constantly. You might not need him constantly. You might need Gabriel. You might need Raphael. You might need Adidra. You might need other angels in the vibration of spirit. You might not need Archangel Michael. Don't be afraid that he's not there, because he'll come when he's needed. It's the same thing with spirit. Spirit only comes when they're needed. They don't just drop in and go, ha ha. When I teach the CERT, when I teach communication, evidence, reason, they're here, tell a story. Communication, evidence, reason. Guides show up in your life, there's a reason they showed up. They just wandered through and got in the wrong building. It's a reason why they showed up. Your parents, your relatives, the people that show up in your vibration, there's a reason they showed up. Not because they just love you. They're only allowed into the vibration to affect your life because there's a reason to be there at that moment. So for somebody to tell you, oh my God, they love you. What else do they have to tell you? There's got to be something else. There's got to be some other connection why they're here, because you already know they love you. So why are they here? Why at this moment in your life did they show up? That's why you always try to direct your dream state. When your feet are flat on the floor, state to your guide, say, I like to meet a guide, I like to meet my gatekeeper, I like to meet so-and-so, I like to meet some. Then lift your feet up and go to sleep. Within weeks or months, you'll have very vivid dreams of somebody showing up, somebody talking to you, somebody conversing with you. So it's a lot of us meditate, a lot of people meditate, not a lot of people can get their minds shut quiet. Mind moves. So none of us get that deep meditation that we really absolutely need. We're still in movement. But when you're sleeping, you allow that control to go away and you travel. You travel, whether you remember you're traveling or not, you're traveling. So as you're traveling, might as well enforce it and say, hey, if I'm going to be traveling tonight, could I talk to that? Could I see that? Could I put that in motion? Then allow them to go work on that for you. There's hospitals, there's buildings, there's all kinds of things on the spirit side of life. I learned that when I was ill. I told my guides, I said, well, there's got to be some hospital that deals with this on the other side. Show me that. Show me that. What do you want me to do? You know where they took me? They took me to this great big this big teak hut with all these symbols all over it. And they pushed me inside and down I sat with these three guys in front of me mixing something in the fire. I said, could you at least have taken me to a hospital that had cement floors? The dirt floors. I said, what are they going to do for me? But my guide told me to sit still, and they mixed this thing up. It was all green. I still remember it, green, yellow, orange. It was all kind of different colors and mixed together. And they said, drink it. And in the spirit world, in that dream state, I drank that. And within a week, less than a week after I drank that, I came out of that, I drank that, everything within my body went into remission. I don't know where I was drinking it. I've never been back to that hut, never been back there since. But I knew at that moment I needed to drink what they were trying to give me. So I had asked them to take me somewhere if I needed to be healthy. So you have to ask yourself, are you going to be healthy? Do you want to be healthy? And what do you see health to be like? So you can explain to your guides health. But personally, what do you see health like? What do you personally see it? You might see it totally different than other people because everything in our lives is how we perceive it, how we perceive the outcome. So if you believe in a certain way, that's what you're going to get. That's going to arrive in your vibration. Oh, if I could just be healthy for my kids. Well, maybe your kids don't want you healthy. Oh, if I could just be healthy so I can go to work. Maybe your guys don't want you working. Be healthy for you. Be healthy for your vibration. Be healthy for your vibration. You're not healthy for a relationship. You're not healthy for anything else. You're healthy for you. And if it benefits everything else around you, awesome. But healthy for you. Because you don't know if the other people in your life are going to be here 6 years from now. You don't know that. They could be in the spirit world. You're still here going, well, I was here for them. I was trying to be healthy for them. They're gone. Then all of a sudden, you've got to figure out, then you got to kind of reboot, trying to figure out where you're going from here. But trust yourself. I tell people, trust yourself where you personally need to be. Where do you want to be? Where do you have that moment in your life? Say, okay, guys, this is where I think I should be. Where do you think I should be? And let's make a consensus of the two directions and move them closer together so we can be where we need to be. Because we have this idea in our lives that guides are there, but we don't really talk to them. We don't converse with them, but they're there. They're wandering through because they know exactly what you're supposed to go through, but they don't know exactly how you would like to maneuver past it. They can get you past it. They can duct tape you and drag you. But how you have to explain to them how you would like to get past it, how you would move through that situation, and allow them to move that in your vibration. Because all the family members stand on the other side. Everybody's past the spirit world. Everybody you knew, ours there on the other side, watching you. They don't watch you all the time, but they watch your energy field. Every lifetime, every incarnation, every vibration that you have ever been or ever thought of being in the universe is within your cells. So I've always understood that. I was extremely talented. I've been extremely wealthy. I've been extremely healthy. I've been extremely something in a past lifetime. I have. So I explain my guides to take me back to that lifetime when I'm in a dream state. Take me back to the lifetime that I was extremely healthy or I was extremely wealthy. Take me back to that lifetime so I can experience the energy of that lifetime and bring it into the cells of my body today. If we focus our intent on that, many years ago, I was with Ramtha. I don't know if people know who Ramtha is. Ramtha is on the West Coast. JC Knight trances Ramtha. But anyway, I was at Ramtha, and Ramtha told me that, Lewis, in some lifetime, you were extremely healthy, extremely balanced. Now, some people I know, they might think I'm a little unbalanced, but I'm extremely balanced. So I knew that I could go back to that lifetime, that incarnation, and pull that energy into this lifetime because it's already within my cells. It's already there. A lot of the guides who traveled with those lifetimes with me are still some of the guides I have today. So they understand where I've been, where I'm going, and what I personally need to do. And that's why I deal with guides. That's why I have people that I know that don't believe in guides. They just believe in your higher self, and you're connected to your higher self. And that's all you need is your higher self. But through our lifetime, I've understood this. I have to tell people, you can sit in your house and talk to yourself, and people think you're crazy. But if you have other people that you can mentally speak to, you're not too crazy. See, if you're only trying to talk to your higher self, who is going to answer you back? For you. So you'll be talking to yourself. You're not talking to other guides, other people that have traveled through lifetimes with you, other incarnations. You're speaking to you. Sure, a guide in your vibration could be you 10 lifetimes back. conversing the information you need in this lifetime because they know it. And they converse with you through that vibration. Not every guide in your vibration has to be some entity that's outside of you. It could be connected to you and speaking to you from the expertise of that lifetime, of that moment, that could give you that information. Because most of the time we just hear that voice in our head. We don't see the spirit, we just hear that voice talking to us. Whether it's your higher self, whether it's a guide from a past life, whatever this is, listen to the voice. When I did a big psychiatric conference, I walked down on stage, and the first thing I did when I walked down on stage, I said, I'd be your best patient. I hear voices. I see things. And I do what the voices tell me to do. And I'm not medicated. So I don't do everything, because I have that little moment with my guides. I kind of tweak it. I go, no, do you really want me to do that? That doesn't sound right. Let's do this. Let's try to rearrange this. Sometimes guides will bring things that'll just happen. You'll end up moving, you'll change your life, situations will move. And I've learned that because you were born on a ley line. You're born on one. You picked the place of birth, city and state. You were born there. You needed that ley line. You needed to affect it, because that's why you got born that ley line. You could have been born anywhere else in the world, but just there. Then eventually that ley line changes. You don't need to be there anymore. So you move, you change your life, change situations in life, you move, because now you don't need to be in that ley line. You have to move to the next ley line that you're going to affect. And you're not the only one standing on that line. There's hundreds and thousands of people standing on that ley line throughout the universe, affecting that ley line. And their energy in turn affects you. So if we know that we're affecting multitudes of individuals just by standing where we are, then we know we're affecting the universe. We're affecting that situation, that universal energy throughout the world. So if you sit back and you really truly look at how the earth really runs, we're born here at this specific time, this vibration in our life, to affect the universal energy. There are 4 guardians that stand at the 4 corners of the universe. They adjust the energy field throughout the universe. And we, in turn, stand on the ley lines to bring balance to all of it. And as we move through that, when we get back to the spirit world, we are still somewhere in the spirit world. Where are we? Somewhere on a ley line. We go back to the spirit world because we are needed there. Our job here was finished. We don't need to be standing on a ley line here anymore. So we get called home. And we end up somewhere in the spirit world, standing on the ley line, standing on an energy field in the spirit world. So we have to realize that what you think about vibration, whether you believe in guides, whether you believe in master teachers. We have master teachers that are a hierarchy above the guides. Master teachers from lifetimes and incarnations. Because I have a Hindu priest that is one of my master guides. I have a Buddhist sitting back there as a master guide. So they are master teachers, master guides for us. And so as we raise our energy, we must raise our vibration. Sometimes we live places that lower our energy field. We could all get into numerology and where you live and all that stuff in your life. But we pick these places in our life, then we feel miserable, like, whew. And it's not really us. It's not the people. It's not the situations. It's where you placed yourself. If you move from, let's just one thing in numerology. If you move and you live in an 11th house, a master home, master house, master house, then you move. But you move from a master house to a 1 house. And all of a sudden, all kinds of craziness is happening. Your house adds up to a 10, 1 and 0, 1 is a 1 house. All kinds of craziness is happening. You know why? Because you moved from a master house to a one house. You lowered the energy way too quick. You lowered it, boom, bam. That's why women, when they get married, instead of researching their name, they're going to take on their husband's name. Going to take it on. But instead of researching what that will do to the numerology value of their name, they just take the name. And things happen. They go, why is that happening? I said, change one letter, change one situation of your name, how you sign your name. That way you raise the vibration, you raise the energy. It works. I don't know why it works. It does. If you live in a one state, work in a one job, you live in a one house, and you're 9 vibrations, you got trouble. Because everything is below you, nothing is near you. You always have to know certain things in vibration. And once we realize that our guides are trying to help us, they'll try to block a house. They say, oh, please don't go there. Oh, no. It's not like the house isn't bad for us. It just means that the numerology value on the house is not good for us. Doesn't fit our vibration. And guys try to keep us away from it. I would never move into anything under a 6 house. Never. I don't care. It's the most beautiful house in the world. You could say, Lewis, I got a 1 house. I got a 2 house, 3 house, 4 house. Right? Awesome. Not my house. Not where I'm going. Not where I'm going to be. So you have to realize that if you move, you change your life, see where you're at. Ask your guide, say, is this highly beneficial for me? Well, ask yourself. You go to rent an apartment, you go move to a different house. People might think you're crazy. You walk in the house, touch the wall. Quiet your mind for a moment and say, is this house highly beneficial for me? First thought. If you touch that wall and the gunshot goes off and people are screaming and there's ambulances and all kinds of craziness go on, walk out the door. You're supposed to be there, pleasant. Pleasant. That's what we do in our lives. We have to realize that Spirit is maneuvering us to where we need to be. They are. Kicking or screaming sometimes. Sometimes we got to go through the flying monkeys. Sometimes we got to run through the haunted forest. Sometimes we got to do that. But it's how we zig and dodge and we weave, throwing all the flying monkeys off balance. We get to the end, out in the clearing, go, whew, we made it through okay. Sometimes we just have to figure out how we're going to maneuver that spot. And that's how your guides help you. They want to take you on the best scenario vibration that you could possibly have. But subconsciously, you have to be able to accept that vibration. If you ask for $1 million in your life from your guide, say, I need $1 million. And your second thought in your vibration is, I don't know what I'll do with $1 million. I don't know if I'd ever get $1 million. That's just not good. It means you've already reneged what you personally asked your guides for. You're not personally accepting it. Well, I have a brother that I know that he won't let me touch him when I go up there. He gets Social Security. He's afraid that if I touch him, I'll heal him and he'll lose his check. So I tease him every once in a while. I run around the house and try to touch him. So I will. I'll just tease him a little bit. But he doesn't want me to heal him because he's got to have that check. And some of people are sick, some people are ill, some situations happen in our lives because we believe that if we get well, we do this happens, that happens, that happens. We won't have the people in our life. We won't have them. Then what are we going to do? Now we've got better. We got better at this situation, but now we've lost the people that we should have had here. Remember, we all are issued like a machete when we get here. We can either follow people and leave the machete sitting there, or we can cut our own path through the woods. Allow people to follow us. Allow them to follow our energy field. When I teach about guides, different things, different vibrations, we all make our situation of what we feel is best for us. It's like getting a grocery bag and throwing things in from the store. You're not going to be a Pacific medium. You're not going to be a Pacific healer. You're not going to be a Pacific anything. You're going to take bits and pieces from all over the store and make you who you are. Make you who you are. You're not going to just have one thing like, oh, Lewis, I'm just a Reiki master. That's all I am, just Reiki. You're a conglomerate of a lot of energy that you've ever propelled within your life. Sure, you can do Reiki, but there's other modalities within your vibration that propel themselves out to make you the Reiki healer you're supposed to be. Not because you did Reiki, not because I get that label. We label people's different situations, label them. But if we do away with the labels and just allow people to collect whatever they need, some people are hoarders. They hoard, they grab all kinds of stuff and never use any of it. Then they block their view of the room. The end of that is you entering a room and the room's halfway empty. Then you start hauling all this stuff in with you. Eventually it'll block the door. You won't see it. Then you'll sit lost in the middle of all this debris trying to figure out where the door is. If we allow ourselves just to pick up what we need, the rest of it, leave it along the path. Other people will come because they'll love it and they'll need it, and let them use it, and we don't need it. We don't need the vibration, not all of it. When you talk to your guides, allow your guides to manifest what they need to in their life. Guides sometimes will just snatch you and drag you. But a lot of times it's this repetition situation going on with you. When we moved to Fish Trap Road up in Tennessee, I asked my guides, I said, where should we move for Marie? Where should we move? Where should she go? This house appeared on our internet without me doing anything. The house was on Fish Trap Road. We couldn't even figure out where the house was. Eventually, we figured out it was in Tennessee. We checked on the house and we found that it had just gone up for sale. We went up, looked at it, and we bought it. Everything fell into place like clockwork. We were supposed to be there for Marie, be there for her. Things will appear in our lives and we won't see it, just be, oh my God, it's perfect. Exactly what I wanted. There won't be any qualm in our head. There won't be any question like, is it? Maybe it is. No. The guides will do that you will look at and go, oh God, that's it. That's it. And when we give it energy, everything about the situation falls into place like clockwork. Everything. So that when you're doing this stuff in your vibration and asking your guides, be able to accept it on a physical and spiritual level. Accept it. Accept the vibration. Change your mind thought. I know it's hard. I know we get taught our whole life changing that thought within our head. But by just working and doing affirmations and doing different things in our vibration, we allow ourselves to change that thought through repetition, through mantras, through different things in our lives, to change that given thought. So when we start changing our thought, the guide's saying, oh, they didn't want that. Let's go get them this. So we change the thought. Think of your life. Some of us are riding on a bus and everybody on the bus is speaking a foreign language but us. We have no idea where the bus is going. We're stuck in that bus with all these people. And instead of being unpolite and getting off the bus, we sit there thinking that we need to be there. And then we don't ask our guides because we're afraid that if our guides might ask them. Oh, no. We need to have every moment, I do it once a week. I have a moment with my guides. I have a discussion with them of where I'm supposed to be. If there's something I'm missing, something I should be doing or putting in motion, please show me. And then I watch what's going on. If I need to do something that I'm not doing at this point in my life, guides will show me. So always listen to yourself. Listen to that connection within your life, that connection within your vibration. You'll never get to that point unless you don't want to get to the other side and go, God, that was awful. Jesus, that was awful. And I get so many people in my office go, oh, I don't want to do that past cycle. That cycle was terrible. But their mind thought has not changed. In this cycle, they're still pulling all that stuff behind them, like a bunch of circus wagons. And they're still pulling it. And they're going, I don't want it. Well, it's there. You have to cut it loose. You got to let it go. Sometimes we have to let people go. Sometimes we have to let situations go. We have to change jobs. We have to do stuff to change the energy within the field, within our vibration, and then move forward. If we don't, we just drag the circuit wagons with us. They're just bought up by a different circus. They're just bought out by somebody else, and they're still the same circus clowns. They've just changed makeup. And here we are again. Listen to yourself. Your guides will help you. That's why you chose them. That's why you stood there with those blueprints on the other side and you go, I want you, you, you. You're my major guides. Come with me. And then the other people will come up and get applications for the other jobs that you have to do. But you have to tell them that you picked them. You picked this life. You might say, oh, no, I didn't. Oh, God, yes. You might not have picked the life the way it is right now, but you picked the life. The only decision we have to do in our lives at this point in our lives is figure out what direction we're going to go. You want to bobsled down the mountain, or do you want to ride the escalator? Your choice. That's how we arrive down to where we need to be. And ask yourself, is this working? Is this something I need to do? Then listen, don't go rushing. Some of us are some of us are ungrounded. We're walking through water. Slow and easy. No rushing and running down the mountain. Sometimes we just have to take it slow and easy. Because we have people that are riding on the bus with us. They're slow. They can't get off the bus as quickly as we can, but we feel responsible for them. So sometimes we need to take it slow and easy so we can maneuver people to where they need to be. Be good stewards. But once everybody gets off the bus and we've got rid of all the crazy, close the doors on the bus. Don't allow more crazy on the bus. That's what people do. They get all the luggage off the bus, all the people off the bus, and oh, thank God. And the next thing you know, there's more luggage, there's more people, and you're going, oh, these people don't speak English either. These people don't understand what I'm trying to say. Listen, because your guides will stop you and put you in that motion. But I hope you enjoyed today. Remember, next week we're doing this. Remember the 18th. I think it's the 18th of February. It's posted on my website. I will be in the villages. I will not be here on that Thursday. I'll be up in the villages doing a large class. So I won't be doing the Thursday. So if you check in, you see me not checking in. But I have the new things. We're going to do black bag magic, black bag mediumship. I'm going to teach you a little bit about that and different things and different tools of mediumship. And we'll go through a lot of stuff here in the future. But on the 18th, I think it's the 18th of February, I'm not going to be here in the organ. I'm not going to be here. I'm here doing this, but I probably will try to tape that lecture I'm doing up in the villages and put that on my YouTube channel. But I won't be here for that. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you. Turn off the recording.